Alright, in this video we are going to discuss is October-November 2007 of your O-Level Maths. Course code is 4024 and it's paper 2, so let's start. The first question from the topic trigonometry, it says that from the top of a vertical tower AB, an observer sees a car at C, calculate CAB. So for the first part you need to calculate CAB, that means this angle is unknown, so let's call this angle is X. Alright, since we are dealing with a right angle triangle, so we can apply trigonometry here. And what are the sides we have? We have the value of opposite, that is equals to 200. We have the value of adjacent, that is equals to 65, right? Now the working formula that connects opposite and adjacent is tan theta. We need to apply tan here. So tan angle is unknown, opposite is 200 divided by adjacent is 65, right? We need to do the inverse of tan here, and when you do the tan inverse, that is equals to x is equals to 71.9 degree, which is equals to 72 degree, and that is your first part answer. For second part, it says diagram shows three positions at C, R, P and S. R is due north of P. Now that is very important. And S is due south of P. Now this north and south, it means that it means that the angle here is 90. You have the value of RP and you have the value of RS. A boat sailed at a constant speed of 5 kilometers per hour from R to S. It was at R at 22:56. Find the time it reached S. Alright. It was at R at 22:56. That means the time here at R point is 22:56, and we need to find out the time when the boat is at S. So for the first part, basically we need to find out the traveling time. Alright. From R to S, how much time the boat taken, we need to find out that time. And to find out time, we have the working formula distance is equals to speed multiplied by time. Do we have the value of distance? So the answer is yes, distance is 750. So distance is 750 is equals to. Do we have the value of speed? Yes, we have 5. Now, the main issue we are facing here is the difference of units. We have kilometers per hour and we have 750 meters. Alright. So that means we need to apply the rule for unit conversion. So to convert 750 into kilometers, it will be 750 divided by 1000. That leads to 0.75 kilometers. Alright. So that 750, we need to replace it with 0.75 kilometers because we can't use two units in a single question. So 0.75 kilometers is equals to 5 times t, and we need to find out the value of t here. So 0.75 over 5, which is equals to 0.15. Now that 0.15 is basically hours, right? If you need to convert that hour into minutes, so you need to multiply it by 60. And if we multiply by 60, you got the value of 9 minutes. Alright, 9 minutes. That means after 9 minutes, it reached the point S. So 22:56 plus you need to add 9 minutes. Alright, so 6 plus 9 leads to 15, right? 5 plus 1 is 6, and that is 22. You don't have 65 minutes in an hour, so I need to shift 60 minutes. That means it will be 23:05. Alright, that is your time when the boat reaches the point S, and that is your first part answer. For the next part, it says calculate the bearing of S from R. S from R. First thing, from R means that we need to make north at point R. That is my north, and the angle we are looking for is this angle. Alright. Now, how we are going to find out that angle? Basically, we know that this angle here, if this angle is Y, then this angle is also Y because they are alternate angles, right? The lines are parallel. So you need to find out this angle by using these two lengths because we are dealing with a right angle triangle. So I need to apply its sign. So that will be, this side is opposite and this side is hypotenuse. Opposite and hypotenuse, that means we need to apply sign here. So sine angle is Y is equals to 300 divided by 750. Alright, we need to simplify. 300 divided by 750, make sure calculator is in degree mode. Sine inverse, you got Y is equals to 23.57 degree. Now to find out the bearing theta, all you need to do is, when you observe here, when you observe that from this point to this point we have a 90-degree, we need to add angle y to find out the bearing, right? So I'm going to do the same. So theta is equals to 90 plus angle y, that is 23.57. so when you add these two, you will get 113.57 degree, or you can say that 113.6 degree. That is your answer. Question number 2, it is given that x is equals to a plus under root a square plus b square. Calculate x when a is equals to 0.73 and b is equals to 1.84. Give your answer correct to two decimal places. Alright, so we are going to attempt a and its first part. So you have x is equals to a plus under root of a square plus b square. Placing the values here, which is very simple, it's 0.73 plus under root of 0.73 square plus 1.84 square. Solving it in your calculator and you can easily find out the values here. So you will get 2.7709, which is equals to 2.71. That is your first part answer. Alright, after that it says for second part, a part 2, it says express b in terms of x and a. That means you need to make b the subject. The equation we have, it's x is equals to a plus under root a square plus b square. We need to make b the subject. So firstly I will shift a on the left side. That will be x minus a is equals to under root of a square plus b square. Now b is trapped in that under root sign. We need to eliminate it. To eliminate under root sign, we need to apply squaring on both sides, right? So on my left side it will be x minus a whole square. On my right side, this square and root sign cancels, and the leftover part we have it's a square plus b square. Since we need to make b square the subject, so it will be x minus a whole square. This a square, when you shift on the left side, it will be negative a square is equals to b square. At last we need to eliminate that square sign, so we need to apply a root on both sides. So I'm going to apply a root here on the left side and on the right side as well. The benefit is square and root cancels, so you have left with under root of x minus a whole square minus a square is equals to b. So now b is the subject of this equation and this is your answer. After that, after this second part here, we need to start with part b. Alright, so it says our shopkeeper sells pens and pencils. Each pen costs $5 and each pencil costs $3. One day he sold X pens. Alright, so one day he sold X pens. On the same day he sold 9 more pens than pencils. Now that is very confusion statement here. 9 more pens, that means the quantity of pens is 9 times as there are 9 more pens as compared to pencils, right? So I can say that pencils is equals to x minus 9. If pens are 9 more than pencils, that means pencils are 9 lesser than pen. So that is very important statement you need to make here, and if you made that statement right, it means that you will end up with the right answer. Alright, after that, now it's b part 1. It says write down an expression in terms of x for his total income for the sale of these pens and pencils. You need to observe that examiner is asking for the expression, not the final answer, right? So how many pens he has? He has X pens and the cost of one pen is $5. That means the total amount for the pens are 5x. Similarly, for the total amount for the pencil, the cost of one pencil is x and number of pencils are x minus 9. Now we need to simplify. So 5x plus 3x minus 3 9s are 27. 5 plus 3 8x minus 27. That is your first part answer. Alright, that is your first part. After that, second part. Alright, It says this total income was less than 300. Less than means that you need to apply the sign of inequality here, right? Less than. So it is 8x minus 20, whatever the price we got in the first part, it is less than, the amount is 300. And now we can simplify to solve it to find out the value of x. It's very simple. When you shift minus 27 on the right side, it will be plus 27. So 8x is lesser than 327. You need to divide 327 by 8 and you will get x is lesser than 40.87. Alright, so that is your second part answer. After that, for third part. For third part, it says write down the maximum number of pens that is sold. So you need to find out the maximum possible value of x. For that part, you need to read that statement one or two times. It says x is lesser than 40.87. If on a number line I need to explain that part, so let's suppose it's 40, let's suppose it's 41, right? The number we are getting here is 40.87, right? So if I'm going to ask what is the maximum possible integer value, right? Because the number of pens, they cannot be in decimal, so we need to find out the integer value. So if it's lesser than, right, if it's lesser than 40.87, so the maximum possible value is 40. So the maximum possible value for pen is equals to 40, and that is your answer. It's question number 3. In the diagram, LMN is parallel to PQR. Now if the lines are parallel, that means we are getting alternate and corresponding angles here, right? Angle PQM is 124 and MQ is equals to MR. If two lengths are equal, it means that we are getting isosceles triangle. Alright, so these are the two keywords. Find X. Now X is this part. Since the lines are equal, so we can say that if this angle is X, so the alternate angle, it will be this angle and that will be X as well. So you can find out the value of X very simply. It's 180 minus 124. Alright, when you simplify, you will get it easily, that is equals to 56 degree. That is your first part answer. Now to find out the value of y, we need to use that equation, right? If these two lines are equal, that means that two angles will be equal as well. So this angle will be x as well. Alright, so for y, you can say that x plus y. The sum of angle of a triangle, it's a triangle, right? The sum of all the angles is equals to 180 degree. Now you have the equation and you need to simplify. So x plus x, it's 2x plus y is equals to 180. You have the value of x. So 2 times x is what? X is 56 plus y is equals to 180. 2 6 are 12, 2 5 are 10, 112 plus y is equals to 180. And y is equals to leads to 8 and 68. That is your answer for y. Alright, after that, in a surveying exercise to find the distance between 2 points y and z on opposite banks of a river, angles and lengths were measured. WXZ and VXY are straight lines and the angle is 90. Show that the triangles are similar. Now to show that the triangles are similar, we have the properties, right? We have what property? All the angles must be equal. We have the property angle, angle, side. We have the property side, angle, side. We have the property side, side, side. We have the property right hypotenuse side, right? These are the 5 postulates we have to show that the triangles are similar or congruent, right? But for similar, the most important thing that we always focus on the ratio of corresponding length. So for the first part, when you need to show that the triangles are similar, which triangles? VWX. Now VWX, this one small triangle, and YZX. YZX means this angle. We need to show that these two triangles are similar, and we need to write down the statement that why we are saying that these two angles are equal. So you need to write down the reason as well. Firstly, in this small triangle, this angle V is 90. In the larger triangle, the angle Y is 90. So we need to write down the statement for this angle. So how I will write? I will write that angle XVW from the smaller triangle is equals to angle ZYX on the larger triangle. whatever angle we are comparing, make sure that this angle must be written in the middle. And why they are equal? Because they both are equal to 90 degree, and it is already given in the question. Now this complete statement gives you one complete mark. Alright, next one. Nextly, since the lines are straight as mentioned in the question, now that is a keyword, because you know that if the lines are intersecting, so we have the corresponding angle here, right? This x is equal because the property of corresponding angle. So we are going to write the second property in this way: angle VXW is equals to angle ZXY. Alright, and the reason they both are equal because they are not corresponding, sorry, it's vertically opposite angle. It's vertically opposite angles. Vertically opposite angles exist when two lines intersect, right? These two lines intersect, that means this angle if A, then this angle will be A as well, and if this angle is B, so its opposite angle or reflected angle is B as well. So that is the property of vertically opposite angles. Since the two angles are equal of a triangle, that means the third angle will be same as well. So you are going to write down the final statement, that is triangle VWX is similar to triangle YZX with the property of angle, angle, angle. Now this complete answer gives you the total weightage of 2 marks in this part. Alright, so that is your first part answer. After that, for second part, it says that VW is equals to 25, Vx is 40, and XY is 160. Calculate the distance YZ. Now you have mentioned or you have proved that the triangles are similar. Now you need to focus on the ratio, right? And how come you are going to do that? It's very simple. If we are going to pick the first two VW, alright, VW on the left side, so you need to pick the first two on the right side as well, whatever written in your question. So that is YZ. Similarly, for the middle two, that is WX divided by ZX, and lastly for the first lot, VX divided by YX. Now whatever data is given, you need to write down the values here. So you have the value of VW, that is given, it's 25. VX is this one, it's 40, and XY is 160, and we are looking for YZ. Now if you observe that these two values are unknown, so you need to ignore this part. We have this part, we have this part, they all are equal, so you need to equate them. And now we can easily solve to make YZ the subject first. So YZ is equals to 160 times 25 divided by 40. Simplify and you will get the value, and it is equals to 100. That is your answer. It's question number 4 from the topic Everyday Maths. In 2005, the cost of posting a letter was 28 cents. A company posted 1200 letters and was given 4% discount on the cost. Calculate the total discount. Now you need to find out the discount only, alright? So the cost of posting a letter was 28 cents. A company posted 1200. So first we need to find total cost, that means 28 times 1200. And company was given 4% discount, and whatever the answer is, you need to find out its 4% discount, right? So now it's very easy to simplify it. It will be 12 fours are 48 times 28, which is equals to 1344. Now what is the unit we have? It says 28 cents. That means the price we are getting is in cents. So first part answer is 1344. Alright. After that, for the second part, part B. In 2006, now that was 2005, it's 2006, the cost of posting a letter was increased from 28 to 35. Calculate the percentage increase. Alright. For percentage increase, or I can say that for percentage change. Change is a general term whether it is increasing or decreasing. The working formula is same, that is difference divided by original price multiplied by 100. Now if I'm going to ask what is the difference we have, so from 28 to 35, the difference will be 35 minus 28, difference divided by original price was 28, and you need to multiply by 100. So when you simplify, you will get the answer, and that is equals to 25%. That is your second part answer. Alright, after that, part C. It says, after the price increased to 35 cents, the cost to the company of posting 1200 letters was $3.99. Calculate the percentage discount the company was given in 2006. Alright. At first, I will find the initial price, that if a cost is 35 cents and the company had posted 1200 letters. So what is the total price the company is getting? First we need to find this one. 35 times 1200, it is equals to 422,000 cents. Alright. Here the price given in dollars, so you need to convert in dollars by just dividing your answer by 100. So 42,000 divided by 100, you will get $420. Now you can observe it clearly that the current price is $3.99, but the original price is $4.20, and you need to find out the percentage discount. The same formula we had used in the previous part. Percentage discount is equals to difference divided by original price multiplied by 100. So what is the difference? Original price was $4.20 and new price is $3.99, right? Original price was $4.20 times 100. Simplify and you will get the answer. So that is equals to 5%. That means the discount percentage was 5, was given in the third part. And for D part, it says that in 2006 it cost 4.60 to post a parcel. That was an increase of 15% on the cost of posting the parcel in 2005. Calculate the cost of posting. It's very simple. All you need to apply the working formula of new divided by old is equals to new divided by old. Now on the right side we are going to place the value of percentage, and on the left side we are going to place the value of price. So what is the new price we have? It says in 2006 it cost 4.60 to post a parcel. This was an increase. So that is the new price. 4.60 was the new price, and that price was 15% higher. Original price was always 100. So if it's 15% higher, that means it's 115, and you need to find out the original value x. Do the cross multiplication and you will get the value of x here. So that is equals to $4. Now what does it mean? It means that the initial price was $4 in 2005. In 2006 the price was increased by 15%, and that the new price is 4.60. That is your final answer. Question number 5 from the topic trigonometry. For the first part, you have a triangle that is not a right angle triangle. It says find the value of AD. Alright. To find out the value of AD, at first we need to identify that which law we are going to apply here. So it's very simple. You have two sides. You have angle between those two sides, and the side opposite to angle is unknown. That means for the first part you need to apply law of cosine. Alright, so I will write down the working formula here. It will be AD square is equals to 24 square plus 16 square minus 2 times 24 times 16 times cos 112. That is the total formula. If you don't remember the formula, it is a square is equals to b square plus c square minus 2 times b and c cos a. That is the working formula for law of cosine. And now we need to simplify it. I got the value AD square equals to 119.7 after simplification it. At last we need to apply root on both sides because we are looking for AD value only, right? So AD is equals to 33.46, which is equals to 33.5, and that is your first part answer. Alright. For second part, it says angle BCD. First we need to mark that angle BC and D. So BC and D means that we need to find out this angle. Let's call this angle Y. Alright, since you have ABC, it's a straight line, right? If it's a straight line as mentioned, so you can find the angle here easily. How come? You need to subtract 112 from 180 and you will get 68 here. So when you have this angle, you can easily apply law of sine here, right? How come we know that we need to apply law of sine here? Remember that in law of sine you need to Observe the pair angle, side and its opposite angle. If this pair is complete, that means you need to apply law of sine here. So if I'm going to apply law of sine here, it will be 20 divided by sine 68 is equals to y, that is unknown, not y, sorry. First we need to place the value of side, 16 divided by sine y. That is your law of sine. You need to do the cross multiplication. 20 times sine y is equals to 16 times sine 68, and make sine y the subject. So sine y equals to 16 into sine 68 divided by 20, and now simplify it. So after finding the inverse of sine, you will get 47.88, that is equals to 47.9 degree, and that is your answer. After second part, it says in the third part that you need to find out the area of a triangle ABD. To find out the area, all you need is two sides and angle between these two sides. So for area, all I need is two sides, that is 24, 16 and the included angle, which is sine 112. That is the working formula to find out the area when you don't have the perpendicular height. And by solving, you will get the area 178 centimeter square. That is your third part. After that, in part B, it says the scale of the map is 1:250,000. Calculate the actual distance in kilometers from town A to town B. The given distance from town A to town B, it's 24, but it's centimeter, and you need to use that scale to find out the actual distance but in kilometers. So I will write, if it's 1, so we have 250,000, right? If it's what? If it's 24 ratio x, all right? So you need to do the cross multiplication. So it will be 250,000 multiplied by 24. You will get 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But that answer is not in kilometers, it's in centimeter. To convert from centimeters to kilometers, all you need to do is divide it by 100 and then divide it by 1000. So 3 zeros and 3 zeros, 2 zeros and 2 zeros eliminate. So the leftover answer you have, it's 60. That is your final answer. Question number 6. Diagram 1 shows a design which consists of 7 congruent circles. Now what do you mean by congruent circles? That all the circles are exactly same. So all the circles are exactly same. Draw inside a large circle. The circle touches at all the points shown. State the order of rotational symmetry of this design. So how many circles we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That means the order of this rotational symmetry is 6. That is the first part answer. After that, in diagram 2, two sections of the design have been shaded. Each small circle has a radius of 5. Calculate the area of the larger circle. Now I am going to use that statement here. Each small circle has a radius of 5. So if I am drawing the radius here, so that is 5, right? And that will be 5 as well, and that will be 5 as well. So in short, what we got the radius of the larger circle, and that is equals to 15. To find out the area of the larger circle, all you need to do is apply the working formula, that is pi r square, and we got the value of the radius, that is 15 square. So pi times 15 square, you will get 706.7 centimeter square. That is your answer. You can round off to 707. Alright. So that is your first part answer, and after that it says find out the shaded area. For shaded area, first I will find out the area of the larger circle, which is 707, and then I will find out the area of one small circle. Alright. So area of one small circle, that will be again pi r square, but this time the value of radius is 5. So you got is 25 pi. And how many small circles we have? We have total 7 of small circle. So that will be 25 pi times 7, which is equals to 549.85. Alright. So now what we will do, if we subtract the area of these small circles from the area of the larger circle, that means area of the larger circle is 707 minus 549.85. 49.85, right? So what is the leftover part? The leftover part is all these portions in which one is shaded. Alright, so that means if we subtract it, that leads to 157.5. Alright, 157.15. Now that 157.15 is basically the area of all those parts which I am going to shade right now. This one region, and all those regions, all those shaded area, that is a part of green color. If you add all those areas, so you will get the answer 157.15, but we are looking for only one, so we need to divide it by the sections we have. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So you need to divide it by 6 and it's equals to 26.2. 26.2, that is your final answer. After that, for part B, in diagram 3 circle center OA and B are shown together with the same shaded area. O is also the center of the larger circle. Write down the angle AOB. Alright. So the total angle of a circle we have, it's 360, right? Now if you observe this part, that is basically this connecting with the first and second part. So if you observe that there are 6 portions we have, right? 6 equal portions. So we need to divide it by 6 and that leads to 60 degree. That is your first part. After that, for second part, it says calculate the total perimeter of the shaded region. Now first you need to understand the term total perimeter. What is perimeter? Perimeter says sum of all sides, right? We all know very well that what does perimeter say. Now if I'm going to ask that which sides, perimeter of all sides, which side, so you need to know that side of shaded region, shaded boundaries. So that means for perimeter all you need is first find out the shaded boundaries and how many shaded boundaries we have. Let me color it for you. We have this length, we have this length, right? That is a shaded boundary. We have these two semicircles, that is a part of shaded boundary, and we have this small length. So there are 4 lengths, 1, 2, 3 and 4. That means we need to find these 4 lengths to find out the perimeter of the shaded region. Alright, so what we have new in this part, we have the angle. Let me zoom it for you. Yes beta, we have this angle which we had find out at 60 degree, and we have this radius. So if we need to find out this length, so that means we need to apply the working formula for arc length of a sector, right? Alright, so arc length of a sector, the working formula says angle divided by 360, that means 60 divided by 360 times 2 pi, and the radius we have, it's 5. Let me simplify it. So that is equals to 5.237. Alright, which length is this one? That is this smallest length. This smallest length is 5.37. Alright, similarly we need to find out the other lengths as well. Now if I'm going to working for this larger length we have here, this one, for this larger length, that is again a sector, right? The angle will be 60, but this time the radius it will be 15 as we had find out previously. So now it will be 60 divided by 360 times 2 pi. Now the radius it will be 50. That is equals to 15.71. Now that 15.71 is basically this length. Let me write it for you. This length is 15.71, right? And this small length we have, it is 5.237. Now what is the leftover part? The leftover part is arc length of these two semicircles. Now that will be very simple, because to find out the arc length we have the working formula which says that arc length of a semicircle is equals to pi r. Alright, now this circle is a small circle, right? And the value of radius we have, it's 5. So now we need to apply 5 here, and you need to multiply it by 2. Why 2? Because we have 2 lengths, right? So that means we need to do it 10 pi. That means 10 pi, which is 3.142. That means 31.42. Alright, now we have all the arc lengths we have, we need to add it. So what we have, it's 5.237 plus 15.71 plus 31.42. Add them and you will get the total perimeter. That is equals to 52.367, which is round off to 52.4, and the unit is what? The length given in centimeters, 52.4 centimeter. That is your final answer. It's question number 7. Compost for growing plant consists of 3 parts of soil and 2 parts of sand, 1 part of peat. Calculate the number of liters of sand in a 75-liter bag of compost. So first part is basically from the ratio portion, right? You had given the value of ratios and you have the total volume, that is 75 liters. All you need to do is you need to find out the number of liters sand have. Alright. So if I'm going to write down the ratio of sand, so it says 2 parts, right? So the ratio of sand, it's 2 part, right? And its quantity, it's unknown. The total ratio we have, that means 3 plus 2, 5, 5 plus 1 is 6. The total ratio we have is 6 and the total quantity is 75 liters. So you can do the cross multiplication. 6x is equals to 2 times 75 and find out the value of x here. That is equals to 25 liters, and that is your first part answer simply with the ratio method. For second part, it says compost is sold in 5 liter, 25 liter and 75 liter bag costing $2, $8.75 and $27 respectively. Show your working clearly. State which bag represents the best value for money. Alright. So compost is sold in 5, 25 and 75. Alright. Now if it's 5 liters, the price is $2, right? If it's 25 liter, the price is $8.75, and if it's 75 liter, the price is $27. All I need to do, I need to find out the price in $1. Alright. So there are 3 portions because we have 3 different categories, right? So I divided with this roughly line to make it clear. So let's start with the first one. For $2, it's 5 liter. What you are going to expect for $1? For $1, you need to divide it by 2, right? So for $1, we are getting 2.5 liters if it's a 5 liter bag. Similarly, we need to do the same here. If it's $8.75, then it's 25 liters. So for $1, it will be 25 divided by 8.75, and that is equals to 2.857. 2.857. That is the amount you are getting in $1. For last one, it's $27 means 75. So for $1, you will get 75 divided by 27, and it is equals to 2.77 you are getting for $1. So what is the highest rate you are getting in $1? $1 2.5, $1 2.85 and $1 2.7. So the highest amount or the highest quantity you are getting in this portion, that means 25 liter represents the best value for money. That is your final answer. Next part. The volume of cone working formula is given. Diagram shows a plant pot. The open end of the plant pot is a circle of radius 10, as you can see here. The closed end is a circle of radius 5 here. The height of the plant pot is 12. The plant pot is a part of a right circular cone of height 12. That means the total height. Calculate the volume of plant pot, give your answer in liters. Alright. That question is very simple because the working formula is already given. So there are 2 volumes. One is the larger volume, right? And the second one is the smaller volume. So firstly, for the larger volume of large is 1 over 3 pi r square h. The values are radius is 10 and height is 24. Simplify and you will get the volume of the larger cone here. So you will get 2513.6 centimeter cube. That is the volume of the larger cone, right? Now we need to find out the volume of smaller cone. The working formula is same, 1 upon 3 pi radius square times height. What is the value of radius for a smaller cone? We have it's 5 and the height it's 12. So you need to simplify it, and that is equals to 314.2. Now you need to find out the volume of the pot here, right? So for the pot, you need to find out the difference 2513.6 minus 314.2. So simplify 2513.6 and that leads to 2199.4, right? But that answer is in centimeter cube and the question says you need to give your answer in liters. So for liters, you need to divide it by 1000. So the final answer is 2.199 liters, that is round up to. Volume is 2.2 liters and that is your first part answer. After that, for the second part, it says that how many of these plant pots can be completely filled from a 75 liter of bag. Alright. Now to understand the question, in the first part you have identified that if you have a single pot, that means it occupies 2.2 liters. Now the question says that if you have 75 liter of volume, so how many pots you can be filled? So you need to divide it by the volume obtained in the first part, that is 2.2 liters, right? And just simplify to find out the final answer. 75 divided by 2.2 leads to 34.09. That means the number of pots can be filled are 34 and that is your answer. Alright. For the last part, it says that a smaller plant pot is geometrically similar to the original plant pot. The open end of this plant pot is a circle of radius 5 cm. How many of these plant pots can be completely filled from a 75 liter bag of compost? If you have a 75 liter of bag and you have this larger pot, so you can fill 34 pots that you can identify in the second part. If you have a 75 liters of bag, how many of these pots can be filled? So firstly, you need to find out the volume that one pot occupies. Since the shapes are similar, we need to apply the working formula for similar shapes. V1 upon V2 is equals to L1 divided by L2 whole power cube. The volume 1 for the larger one, we had find out it's 2.2 liters divided by volume 2 is unknown. The radius for the larger is 10, the radius for the smaller is 5 and its cube. So 10 divided by 5 it's 2 and 2 cube it's 8, which is equals to 2.2 divided by volume 2. You can find out the volume 2 here, that means 2.2 divided by 8, which is equals to 0.275. That is amount in liters that this small pot occupies. Now we have 75 liters of bag and this small pot occupies 0.275. So you need to divide as you have done previously to find out the number of pots, which is equals to 272 pots you can fill if the volume of the smaller pot is 0.275 and that is your answer. It's question number 8 from the topic graph of functions. A stone was thrown from the top of a vertical cliff. Its position during the flight is represented by the equation y equals to 24 plus 10x minus x square, where y meters is the height of the stone above the sea and x meter is the horizontal distance from the cliff. So y is on the y-axis, x is on the x-axis. Solve the equation. So for the first part, you need to solve that equation, and the equation, if I arranged it, it will be x square minus 10x minus 24 equal to 0. I have arranged it, that means I have made the coefficient of x square positive. Now we need to simplify it, which we can do by using the middle term. It will be minus 12x plus 2x minus 24 equal to 0. It's x minus 12 plus 2 x minus 12 equals to 0. Then you can take common x minus 12 and the leftover part you have its x plus 2 equal to 0. Equate both of them, so you got x is equals to 12 and you got x is equals to negative 2. Alright. And the second part, you need to construct the graph, and the scale is from 1 centimeter. 1 centimeter represent 1 meter on the x-axis. That means on the x-axis we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on, and on the y-axis we have 2 centimeter represent 10 meters. So that means it will be 10, 20, 30 and so on. After that we need to construct the points here. So first one, it's 0 at 24. So when x is 0, y is 24, so that means it will be 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is my first point marked with the green pen. So you need to construct all the points here. I have marked all those points here. You can easily clear, right? And now I will construct them with a smooth graph. That's how your graph looks like. Now if you observe that these 5 points or 6 points we have in our graph, but what about this one? How can we extend our graph and meet at the point where x is equals to 12? Because that part is connected with the first one, right? When in the first part you will solve the equation, you got two values of x. The first one is 12 and the next one is minus 2. So we don't have the values for the negative side, but we have the value for the positive side, that when y is 0, that means the value of x is 12. So you need to construct your line till this point, and that is the completion of your this part. Alright, in the second part it says use your answer to part A to complete the graph which represents the flight of the stone. So we had covered this portion in the first part, and that is meant what has been asked in the second part. So we had connected the point from this x is equals to 12 when y equals to 0. So that is the answer of this part. In the next part it says find the height of the stone above the sea when its horizontal distance from the cliff was 7 meters. Alright, so you need to find out the height. Height means that you need to find out the value at the y-axis, and distance means that you have the value of the x-axis, right? So when the value at x is 7 meters, I need to draw the line here. So you need to do the exactly same. At x is equals to 7, draw a line like this one, dotted one, this one. Alright, when x is equals to 7, you had construct the line meeting your graph, and then find out that value. Find out that value on your graph. So that means we have this value here, right? And that is the height which has been asked. So this part answer is 45. Alright. So third part answer, the value of height, the value of y, it's 45 meter. That is your answer. In the next part, use your graph to find how far the stone traveled. How far means that you need to find unknown on the x-axis while it was 6 meter or more above the top of the cliff. Alright, 6 meter or more. Currently the position is 24. 6 meter means that it will be at 30. Alright, so I will make a line at 30. There is a line, right? And you need to extend that line and mark those points where the line intersects your graph. So that is the first point I'm getting here. Alright, that is the first point, and its value is 0.246. So first value we are getting is 0.6 on the x-axis, and the next value here, and its value is 9.4. So 0.6 and 9.4, these are the two possible answers for this part. After that, when you had the value of these two, it says how far. That means now you need to find out that distance. So you need to find out the difference. 9.4 minus 0.6 is equals to, gives you the final answer of 8.8. That is your final answer for the distance. After that, part C, part 1, it says that 24 plus 10x minus x square is equals to p minus x minus 5 whole square. You need to find out the value of p. So on my right side I will do the expansion. P minus, it is an identity, a square minus 2ab plus b square. If I expand the bracket, it will be p minus x square plus 10x minus 25, which is equals to 24 plus 10x minus x square. Since we need to find out the value of p here, so I will equate the constants only. So here constant is 24, and here we have a constant of p, and I get 25. That means 24 is equals to p minus 25, and the value for p, it is equals to 25 plus 24, it's 49. That is your answer. After that, hence find the greatest height of the stone above the sea. The greatest height of the stone above the sea is 49, and you can verify this answer from the graph as well. That is the highest height, and its value here, it's 49. So for the A part, the highest value is equals to 49. It will be in meters. And after that, for B part, it says the horizontal distance from the cliff when the stone was at its greatest height. So when stone at its greatest height, the distance is 5. So that means its answer is 5 meter, and that is your complete question. It's question number 9 from the topic vectors. In the first part, it says that you have PQ, you have QR, RS, you need to find out PS. So in the first, when we discussed about vector, we know that AB plus BC is equals to AC, right? When we have this condition, so the answer will be A and C. The same concept apply in the first part. If you add all those PQ plus QR, it will be PR, PR plus RS, it will be RS. So basically you need to add all those vectors. So if I do, it will be minus 2 plus 1 plus 1, minus 2 plus 1 plus 1, 3 plus 0 minus 5. So minus 2 plus 1 plus 1, it will be 0, and 3 minus 5 leads to negative 2. That is the first part answer. In the second part, it says in the diagram AB is 2B, AB. So I will marking in the diagram. So from A to B, it says it's 2B. A to D, it says it's 3A, and D to F, it says it's B minus A. Alright. E is the midpoint of AB. Now for the midpoint, we know that from A to E it will be B, and E to B it will be B as well, because E is the midpoint, and F is the midpoint of D and C. So that means it will be B minus A as well. Alright. Now when you had marked all the information on your diagram, it will be very easy to attempt the question now. In the first part, it says EA. So we know that A to E is B, but from E to A it will be negative B due to the change of direction. So from E to A it's negative B, that is your answer. From D to C, from D to C, so you have two B's, B minus A plus B minus A, right? From D to C, B minus A plus B minus A. So it will be B minus A plus B minus A leads to 2B minus 2A, or you can say that it's 2 times B minus A. That is your second part. Alright. After that, it says EF. From E to F. Firstly, I will go from E to A, then from A to D, and then from D to F. Ultimately, we had reached from E to F. So first part, and it's part C, EF. So what I had discussed here, from E to F, firstly we need to go from E to A, it's minus B, plus from A to D it's 3A, plus from D to F it's B minus A. Now we need to simplify. So B and B cancel, 3A minus A, it's 2A. So you got E to F it's 2A. That is your answer for C part. Lastly, you need to attempt for B to C. Alright. From B to C, first we need to identify the figure. From B to A, it's minus 2B. From A to D, it's 3A. And from D to C, we had find out the vector, that is 2 times B minus A. So I'm going to use the same. From B to A, it's minus 2B. From A to D, it's 3A. From D to C, it's 2B minus 2A. When you simplify, 2B and 2B cancel. So 3A minus 2A, it's A. So that is your vector from B to C, it's A. So that is your D part. After that, give a special name of quadrilateral ABCD. Now if you observe, it's A, 2A and 3A, that means these all are parallel. And the special name of the quadrilateral, it's trapezium. Alright, that is the special name of a quadrilateral, it's trapezium. Now you need to write down the reason, and the reason is sides are parallel, right? So which two sides are parallel? We can say that ABCD, we can say that BC is parallel to AD. Alright, since we have one pair of parallel sides, that is the condition for trapezium. Find the ratio of BC, EF, AD. So for B part, we need to find out the ratio of BC, ratio of EF, and ratio of AD. So we have the vector of BC, it's A ratio 2A ratio 3A. If you apply the magnitude working formula, it will be same. So that's why I'm not going to apply here. it cancels. So the leftover is 1 ratio 2 ratio 3. That is your answer. Second part. Points A, B, C and D lie on circle 1. O is the center of circle 1. Points A, O, E, C and F lie on circle 2. AEB and ADF are straight lines. Give your answer. Write down CEA. Firstly, we need to mark that angle CEA. That angle is CEA, right? Now if you observe that these two angles are lie on circle 2, right? That O is a circle center of circle 1 but not circle of center of circle 2, right? So with respect to circle 2, these two lie on circumference. Is it so? So that means we can apply the property of angles in a same segment. So for the first part CEA, I can say that CEA will be 146 as well, and the reason is angles in a same segment. Alright, so that is your first part answer. After that it says CBA. Firstly, I will highlight the angle CBA. So CBA is this angle. Alright, now if you observe that point B lies on the circle 1 and O is the center of circle 1. Both of the angles facing the same arc line, that means angle B will be half of the angle O. That is the property of circles. So for angle CBA, it will be 146 divided by 2 leads to 73. If you don't know the property says that if you have the angle at center, let's suppose this angle is 100, so the angle at circumference it will be 50. That is the property we have applied in this second part. Angle at center is 2 times the angle at circumference. After that CFA, again we need to highlight that angle first. CFA means this angle, right? Now if you observe the 4 points I'm going to highlight, it's C, F, A and O. Alright, these 4 points makes a cyclic quadrilateral. So for CFA we can apply the condition of cyclic quadrilateral, and the condition says opposite angles are supplementary. Let's suppose this angle F is Y. We can say that Y plus 146 is equals to 180. Alright, that is the condition of cyclic quadrilateral. So Y is equals to 180 minus 146 leads to 34 degree. That is your third part answer. Lastly, we need to find DCF. Now firstly I need to mark that angle DCF. DCF. Now there is no right triangle here, so I will make a line from D to C, a straight line from D to C. Alright, and the angle we are looking for DCF, that means this angle, let's call this angle X, that angle is unknown. Alright, now I had find the value of Y here by using the cyclic. I will do the same for angle P here. And what is angle P? Let's mark this angle P here. Alright, so I can say that angle P plus that yellow marked angle, which is 73, we had find out. Angle P plus 73 is equals to 180, again the property of cyclic quadrilateral. So that is equals to angle P is equals to 107. Alright, now you have that angle 107, that means now you can find out this angle here. Alright, and how you are going to find that? It will be 180 minus 107, again it is equals to 73. Now you have a triangle in which this angle is 73, you have the value of Y, that is 34. So we can apply the simple condition of a triangle, that is sum of angle is 180, X plus 73 plus Y is 34 equals to 180. So X is equals to 73 degree. Alright, that is the working. It's question number 10. Potatoes are sold in sacks. One sack picked at random contains 260 potatoes. The masses in grams of the potatoes in the sack are summarized in the table below. Calculate an estimate of the total mass of the potatoes in the sack. So you need to find out the estimate mean, right? Firstly, you need to find out the midpoint and label it as X. So I will find midpoint here and label as X. 750 and 100 midpoint is 75. 100, 150 midpoint is 125. 150, 200 is 175. 225. 275 and 325. So keep in mind, whenever it says estimate mean point, you need to find out the midpoint first, right? Estimated of the mass. After that, you need to find out the total mass, right? So you need to multiply that by 4 to find out Fx. So 75 times 4, it will be 300. Similarly, you need to multiply 125 by 56. So I had find out all the values by multiplying these two numbers, right? That is Fx. For the first part, since it says for the total mass only, so I need to find out summation of Fx. That means we need to add all the values. 300 plus 7,000. So that will sum up to 50,300. That is your first part answer. For the next part, it says that calculate an estimate of the mean. So for mean, the working formula is summation of fx divided by summation of f. Now summation of fx we had find out it's 50,300 divided by. What is summation of frequency? So it's given that is 260 potatoes. So when you divide it by 260, you need to you will get the value divided by 260, that will sum up to 193.5, and that is your answer. For the next part, it says copy and complete the cumulative frequency table given below. Alright, so that frequency I have pasted from the previous part. So you have the frequency, you have the mass, and you have the cumulative frequency, right? So how you are going to find out the CF value? It's very simple. All you need is just add the values. 4 plus 56, you got 60. 60 plus 84, you will get 144. 144 plus 76, you will get 220. 220 plus 36, you will get 256. 256 plus 4, you will get 260. So that's how you find out the cumulative frequency, by adding the frequency with the next value. Alright, 4 plus 56, 60. 60 plus 84, 144. These values are already given in the previous part A, and with this frequency you can find out the cumulative frequency. After that, it says using a scale of 2 cm represent 50 grams, draw a horizontal axis for masses between 0 till 350, and you need to find out the cumulative frequency on the vertical axis, and this part is a weightage of 3 marks. Now I have constructed the axis here. It says on x-axis 2 cm represents 50. So 2 cm represents 50, that means it will be 50, it will be 100, then it will be 150, and so on. Similarly on y-axis, again the same graph, 2 cm represents 50, so it will be 50, 100, and so on. So I have marked all the values here. I have marked cumulative frequency on the y-axis, masses on the x-axis, and this is the completion of my axis. Now I construct the points here. Now if you observe the graph, when x is 50, y is 0. So let me label it. When x is 50, y is 0, that is my first point. After that, when x is 100, y is 4. So when x is 100, y is 4. So that means it will be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 10, 5, 4. 4 means that this point here. And I need to plot all the other points. I have marked all the points, and now I need to construct them with a smooth curve. So that's how your curve looks like of the CF curve. That is the completion of second part, this one, right? After that, it says use your curve to find out the median. So now it's 3 part A. For median, firstly it says total frequency divided by 2, and the highest frequency we have, it's 260. So 260 divided by 2 leads to 130, right? So let me find out the value at 130. 130 will be where? It's 100, 110, 120, and 130. So 10, 20, and 30. That point here, it's 130. So I need to construct a line here. So that point, that line, it's 130. It meets the curve, and I need to find out the value where it meets at the x-axis. So the value of x-axis here, it's 150, 60, 70, 80, 90, and between 90 and 95. So I will say that the median is 193. Alright, from the graph. After the first part, we need to find out the interquartile range. So for interquartile range, first we need to find out the upper quartile, that is Q3. The working formula is 3 divided by 4 times your total frequency, which is equals to 260. Simplify it. It is equals to 195. Now 195 is not your upper quartile, but you need to find out the value on the y-axis first. So 150, 160, 170, 180, 190, and 195. Just below the value of 200. So that is your upper quartile. 195. Find the value on the graph
this one, and then mark your line on the x-axis to find out the value of the upper quartile. Now this value here, it's what? Let me find out. 200, 210, 220 and 230. So the upper quartile value we have, it's 230. Similarly for the lower quartile, which is Q1, we have 1 divided by 4 divided by multiply by 260. Simplify it, it is equals to 65. Now we need to highlight the value here as well, 65. So 50, 60 and 65, that is 65. I will again merge it to my graph and find out the value here, and this value is 155. So the value for lower quartile is 155, right? Now the interquartile range, that is Q2, is basically the difference of upper quartile, that is 230, and the lower quartile, that is 155. And the answer is 75 grams. That is my interquartile range. That is your part B. For part C, let me do that working here. Alright. For part C, it says that the organizer of a barbecue expects to sell 500 baked potatoes. Each potato should have a mass greater than 200 grams. So first I need to identify this portion here. Mass greater than 200. So from my table, I will find out those value which has a mass greater than 200. At 200 we have the value, it's 145, right? At 200 we have the value, it's 145, and the total we have, it's 260. So when I subtract 145 from 260, I will get 115. That means these are the number of potatoes that needs to be considered, which have the mass greater than 200 grams. The amount of baked potatoes we have, it's 500, right? So that means 500 divided by 115 leads to 4.34. So it's greater than 4.34. That means the number of sacks we are required here, it equals to 5 sacks are required. Alright.
Question number 11 from the topic transformation. In the first part, it says P is the point 29 and Q is the point 4,6. You need to find out the length of PQ. When the coordinates are given and you need to find out the length, you need to apply the length formula. So that is equals to x2 minus x1 whole square, which is 4 minus 2 whole square, plus y2 minus y1, that means 6 minus 9 and whole square. So 4 minus 2 square is 4, plus 6 minus 9 minus 3 ka square, it's 9. So 4 plus 9 leads to root 13. That is your first part answer. After that, for second part, it says find the equation of the line PQ. For equation, first we need to find out the gradient. Gradient is what? y2 minus y1, 6 minus 9 divided by x2 minus x1. So 6 minus 9 minus 3 divided by 2, that is your gradient. Now you need to find out the value of y-intercept. We have the working formula, y is equals to mx plus c. I am going to use the point 2, 9. So y is 9 is equals to gradient is minus 3 upon 2. X is 2 plus c. So 2 and 2 cancel. You got the value of c, that is equals to 12. Now you have the value of c and gradient both. You need to find out the equation, that is y is equals to mx plus c. Place the value of m and c here. So you got y is equals to gradient is minus 3 over 2x plus c is 12. That is your answer for the equation of line. After that, part B, part 1. Find the matrix representing the transformation that maps triangle A onto triangle B. If A transforms onto triangle B, what is the transformation here? It's basically a reflection across x-axis, right? So for B part 1, what is the transformation? It's a reflection across y-axis. Now what is the transformation matrix for reflection across y-axis? When we shift on the y-axis, it will be 1, 0, x remains same, but y changes its sign. So that will be 0 minus 1. It's your first part answer. After that, for second part, it says describe the transformation that maps B onto C. So if you see from B to C, again it's a reflection, but that reflection is across this line, and the equation of this line is y equals to x. You need to write down the answer for this part because it says describe fully. So it's a reflection across the line y equals to x. That is your second part answer. After that, part 3. In part 3 it says that triangle C is mapped onto triangle D by the translation. So we can see that there is a translation. Write down the column vector that represents C. It's very simple. Let's suppose from C I am going to pick this point, right? I had picked this point, and the corresponding point on D we have this one, right? So we need to count the boxes where we are heading from C to this point. Count on the x-axis 1, 2, 3. So x is 3, but it will be minus 3 because of the direction. And y is what? 1, 2, 3. And y is negative 3 as well. So that is the transformation matrix for 3 part A. After that, the transformation R that maps triangle A onto triangle C is represented by the matrix 0, 1, minus 1, 0. Show that the transformation R followed by T maps HK onto minus K minus 3 and H minus 3. Now here the most important point is you need to interpret correctly this statement. R followed by T. That means at this point H comma K, first you need to apply R and then you need to apply T. R followed by T. So the R matrix we have, it's 0, 1, minus 1, 0. It applies on the point is H comma K, R followed by T. That means you need to add T here, and T is what we had find in the previous part. T is what? T is minus 3, minus 3. So that is the statement R followed by T. Now you need to multiply here. So 0 into H, 0, minus 1 into K, minus K, 1 into H, H, and 0 into K, that is matrix multiplication, plus minus 3, minus 3. So when you add them, you will get minus K, minus 3, and H, minus 3. That is written in the vector form. In your answer, it says write in the coordinates form. So in coordinates form, I will write minus K, minus 3, comma, H, minus 3. That is your answer for 3 part B. In the next part, find the value of H and the value of K for which the transformation R followed by T maps HK onto itself. Now listen to the question carefully. When we had applied R followed by T, we come up with this answer, right? So I'm going to write down this answer, minus K, minus 3 and H minus 3. That is R followed B. It says maps onto itself. It means that when it maps onto itself, it will be at original position, that is H comma K, right? So that is your equation. You need to simplify. If you equate them, the first one, it will be minus K minus 3 is equals to H, and the next one it will be K is equals to H minus 3. What I did, I just equate this whole equation here, right? And I just compare this whole equation here. So I got two equations and I need to simplify it. So here the value of K is H minus 3 and I need to place that value in this equation. So instead of K, I will write H minus 3 is equals to H minus H plus 3 minus 3 is equals to H plus 3 minus 3 is 0. So that will be minus H, 0 is equals to H plus H, 2H, and you got H is equals to 0. If you place H equal to 0 here, so K is equals to 0 minus 3, which is equals to minus 3. So you got H comma K value is H is equals to 0 and K is equals to minus 3. These are the values for H and K. After that, the single transformation that is equivalent to R followed by T is a rotation. Write down the coordinates of the center of this rotation. Now the coordinates of the center of this rotation will be same as we had find out H comma K in the previous part. So for D part the center is 0 comma minus 3. That is your answer.